Hello students, I hope you are doing well. Today we are going to learn lesson number 7 from UNC and the topic is the simple present and simple past tense. Presented by Ms. Rizwana Atta. The lesson is having two concepts, so that's why I have divided it into two parts. First we are going to learn simple present tense. Before starting our lesson, we have to revise few of the things, and the first thing is, what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words which gives a complete idea. It usually consists of subject, verb and object. It starts with a capital letter and ends in a full stop, question mark or an exclamation mark. Subject, verb and object are the basic elements of any sentence. The basic definition says, simple present tense is used to express actions or states which are true in the present moment, habitual actions and also universal truths, facts or ideas which are believed to be true for all times. For making sentences in simple present tense, we need a subject, first form of verb and an object. This is the basic sentence structure which you have to keep in your mind. The first point is that simple present tense is used to express actions or states true at the present moment. Examples are, he is our teacher. They live in New York. My friends work in a bank. Here you can see that all the main verbs is, live and work. They are being highlighted because they are the true statements in the present moment. The next point is that the simple present tense is used to describe habitual actions. Habitual actions are those actions which you repeat and do again and again. Examples are, I brush my teeth twice a day. My mother usually goes to the market with me. They always get up early. So here the main verbs are being highlighted, brush, goes and get up. The simple present tense is used to express universal truth, facts or ideas. Examples are, the earth revolves around the sun. We all know that it is a universal fact. Plants need water to grow. It is a scientific fact. There are many planets in space. A triangle has 3 sides. These are the facts and ideas which are well known in the whole world. Here is a useful tip for you. The third person singular. Third person singular means he, she, it or any singular noun which is used as a subject in a sentence. For making a sentence in a simple present tense, when you are using he, she or it or any singular noun as a subject of your sentence, you have to use plural form of the verb. Plural form of the verb means you have to add s or es to the base form of the verb. Here are some of the examples. Base form is watch. By adding s or es, the plural form of the verb is watches. Other examples are go, goes, sleep, sleeps, sing, sings, study, studies, wash, washes, cry, cries, jump, jumps, drive, drives, fly, flies. So by using all these verbs, you can make different sentences with third person singular subjects. I just want to repeat it. The third person singular subject means he, she, it, or any singular noun. For example, Mike or Jane. These are the examples that how third person singular subject needs plural form of the verb. He drives carelessly. She waters the rose plant daily. Mike sings beautifully. My cousin writes neatly. It rains heavily in my village. So here you can see that all the subjects which I have used, he, she, Mike, my cousin, it, all are third person singular. That's why they have used plural form of the verb. Drives, waters, sings, writes, and rains. Simple present tense also use verb to be. All the verbs are not action verbs. Some of the verbs are verb to be. The question is, what is the meaning of the verb to be? The to be is a verb used to describe something or someone. However, the most common use of the to be verb is to talk about names, age, feeling, nationalities, and professions, especially when talking in the present time. Is, are, am. Is, are, am. These are three verb to be which we use in simple present tense. Am is used with I. Is to be used with he, she, it, or any third person singular subject. Are is to be used with we, you, they, and plural subjects. Here I just want to give you a quick review of simple present tense positive sentences. For this, I have made some of the examples. My mother loves me. So here my mother is a third person singular and the verb loves is a plural form of the base verb. He is an American. It is verb to be. They have a big house. I brush my teeth twice a day. It snows a lot in winter in Murray. It is again third person singular. So that is why snows is a plural form of the verb. We have learned to make sentences by using simple present tense. Now it is time to learn how to make negative sentences. For this, we add do not or does not. Do not or does not. Do not is to be used with the plural subjects and does not is to be used with singular subjects. But remember one thing, after do and does always use first form of the verb. The example is the simple present tense positive sentence is Mimi likes singing. But when we change it into a negative sentence, for this we use does not. Mimi does not like singing. Here we have changed the plural form of the verb likes into the base form like. That is very important tip to remember. For making negative sentences in simple present tense, you need to follow the given sentence structure. Be very careful that where to use do not, does not, is not, am not, and are not. As I told you that you have to use does not, do not, is not, are not, and am not for making negative sentences in simple present tense. So the examples are, she does not work on time. She is third person singular. That is why we have used does not. They do not visit us. They is a plural subject. That is why we have used do not visit. I do not tease my siblings. Her cousin does not help her. Their neighbors are not happy with them. I am not lazy. So here I have used verb to be, is, are and am. It is not true. Mike does not scold me. In the last example, I have used Mike as a third person singular subject. So that's why I have used does not. And scold is the base form of the verb. So we have used first form of the verb after does not. Here we are going to learn how to make interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences means how to make questions. Here we are going to learn interrogative sentence structure. We need to use do, does, is, am and are. These words we need to use in the beginning. And one thing you have to remember that a question always ends in a question mark. These are the examples of interrogative sentences in simple present tense. Do you go to school? Is she lazy? Does she go to play with you? Are you hungry? Do they sing together? Does he drive carelessly? Am I late today? Does he work 6 days a week? Here you can see that do, does, is, are and am. These words are being used at the beginning of the sentences and every sentence ends in a question mark. So by adding all the necessary things which are important in the structure of interrogative sentences, you can make questions very well. So students, we have learned how to make sentences in simple present tense, then how to change them into negative and their interrogative form. But we need to get a quick review. So, simple present tense needs subject, first form of verb and an object. For making negative, we use do not and does not. And for making interrogative, we use do and does at the beginning of the sentence. For verb to be, we need is, are and am. For making negative sentences, we use is not, are not, am not. For making interrogative sentences, we have to use is, are and am at the beginning of the sentences. And just remember that every interrogative statement ends in a question mark. After a quick revision of how to make positive, negative and interrogative sentences in simple present tense, it's a practice time. So here I have given you 4 verbs: climb, dance, fly and jump. You have to use all these 4 verbs in your sentences. First try to make positive sentences, then change them into negative and then into interrogative form. Keep all the sentence structures in your mind. We have learned the concept how to make sentences by using simple present tense. Then how to make negative and interrogative sentences. So now it is time to solve exercise 1 given in UNC lesson number 7 on page 143 and 144. Now open up your books and question number 1 is: fill in the blanks in each sentence with the simple present tense of the given verb in the bracket. Be sure to use the correct singular or plural form. Come to page 144 now. But remember one thing, use plural form of the verb with singular subjects. So statement number 1 is: Fish dash in water. So what you are going to use? Live or lives? We have to use live. Why? Because fish means not a singular fish. They are talking about all the fish living in water. So we are going to use base form of the verb. So the answer is fish live in water. Statement number 2 is the students read a book every week. Now just pay attention what the subject is. Either it is plural or singular. The students. So it means it is plural subject. So we are going to use only the base verb. The students read a book every week. Now come to third statement. The library be air conditioned. Verb to be in the present tense. Just remember is, are, am. So the library is singular subject. So what we are going to use? Yes, we are going to use is with it. The library is air conditioned. Statement number 4 is she usually take a bus to work. She is a third person singular. So we are going to use plural form of the verb. So the answer is she usually takes a bus to work. Now come to statement number 5. The scouts learn to live an active and useful life. Scouts is a plural subject, so we are going to use the base form. The scouts learn to live an active and useful life. Now, statement number 6. Several schools intend to take part in the annual swimming carnival. Several schools. It is a plural subject, so the base form is needed here. So we are going to use several schools intend to take part in the annual swimming carnival. Next statement is Miss Thomas conduct the school band. Miss Thomas is the singular subject. So here we are going to use the plural form. Miss Thomas conducts. Next statement is the teachers encourage the students to study hard. The teachers, it is plural subject, so base form is required. Next is a postman delivered letters. A postman is third person singular, so here we are going to use the plural form delivers. A postman delivers letters. And the last statement is this club dash many members. The club is a singular subject, so we are going to use has. This club has many members. So the first exercise you have done, I hope that you have learned very well. So students, we have already learned about simple present tense. Now it is lesson number 7, part 2, simple past tense. The simple definition says, the simple past tense is used to express actions or states which took place or existed at some times in the past. So for simple past tense, we need a subject, second form of the verb, and an object. Before starting the lesson, you have to remember that verbs are having two types, regular verbs and irregular verbs. Regular verbs are called regular verbs because they form their past and past participle forms by adding d and ed. For example, the verb play. If we add ed to it, it becomes played. He played football last Sunday. The second example is cook. When we add ed, it becomes cooked. He cooked lunch last week. So they are called regular verbs. Irregular verbs, they make their past and past participle form in different ways. They are not having any set spelling patterns. So the example is write, wrote. The teacher wrote a message on the board. So the second form is completely different from the base form. That is why they are called irregular verbs. In simple past tense, there are verb to be as well. Do you remember in simple present tense, we have learned about is, are, am. So here we are going to learn about was and were. Was, were. These are two verb to be which we are going to use in simple past tense. Was is to be used with all the singular subjects I, he, she, it or any singular noun. Were is to be used with you, we, they or any plural subject. So for making sentences in simple past tense, we need a subject, second form of verb and an object. Remember, you have to use second form of verb with all the subjects. Doesn't matter that you are using singular or plural subject. For making sentences where you are going to use verb to be, was is to be used for singulars and were is to be used for plural subject. So here are the examples. She slept in the evening. I scolded him. You were absent yesterday. My father went to America in 2019. His boss admired him. They bought a new house last year. Sam was happy. It was dark outside. So here all the verb and verb to be are highlighted so you can differentiate them. That he, she, it, singular nouns and all the plural subjects are using second form of verb. So students, you have already learned how to make sentences by using simple past tense. Now it is the time to learn how to make negative sentences. But do you remember that in simple past tense, you have learned that you have to use second form of verb. But for making negative sentences, you have to learn different sentence structure. You have to use did not, did not. So after did not, you have to use first form of verb. We use did not and first form of verb with all the subjects to make negative sentences in simple past tense. So here are the examples. With all the subjects, you have to use did not. She did not call me. If we are going to make a simple sentence, we have to use she called me. But for making negative, after did not, we have to use call instead of called. So the sentence is she did not call me. Her brother did not hit her. The little boy did not cross the road. The sparrow did not find insects yesterday. They did not visit us last week. You did not help me when I was in trouble. I did not catch the thief. So all the sentences are in negative form and they have used did not with first form of verb. For making negative sentences in verb to be. Do you remember that verb to be in past, was and were? So we have to use was not, were not. Was not, were not. Was not with singular subjects and were not with plural subjects. So for making negative sentences, I was not at school. She was not in bed. We were not at home last week. You were not tired yesterday. They were not here last night. The hotel was not expensive. So these are the negative forms of verb to be in simple past tense. Now we are going to learn how to make interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences means how to form questions in simple past tense. For this, we need to learn sentence structure. Did, was, and were. Did, was, and were. These are the words which we are going to use at the beginning of the sentences to make them interrogative. And do you remember that every interrogative sentence ends in a question mark? As I told you that for making interrogative sentences, we have to use did in the beginning of the sentence. So here are the examples. Did you want to learn English? Did you listen to music yesterday? Did he play football in Mexico? Did we live in a flat 2 years ago? Did she use the correct word in this exercise? Did they like Rome? So here you can see that after did, we have used first form of verb and every statement is ending in a question mark. So this is the basic structure of making interrogative sentence. For making interrogative statements by using was and were, you need to follow the sentence structure like this. Was he at home? Was your brother alone? Was she happy? Was her sister at school? Was it warm? So we are using was in the beginning. Same goes with were. Were you at home? Were they alone? Were your friends happy? Were we at school? So in this way, you can form interrogative sentences by using was and were. Don't forget to put question mark at the end of every interrogative statement. You have learned how to make statements in simple past tense, how to change them into negative and interrogative forms. It is time to have a quick review. Remember regular and irregular verbs. For making statements in simple past tense, you need a subject, second form of verb, and an object. For making negative statement, you use did not, first form of verb, and an object. For making interrogative, you need did in the beginning of the sentence, first form of verb, and a question mark at the end. For making statements with verb to be, you need was and were. For making negative, you use was not, were not. For making interrogative, you need to use was and were at the beginning of the sentence and a question mark at the end. Today you have learned how to make positive, negative and interrogative sentences in simple past tense. So now it's practice time. Here are three verbs: drink, eat, drive. Remember, you have to use past form of the verbs to make sentences. So the past form, drink into drank, eat, ate, drive, drove. So you have to use drank, ate and drove in your own sentences. First try to make positive sentences, then change them into negative and interrogative forms. Just remember the sentence structure you have learned today. Now it is time to solve exercise 2 from lesson number 7, page 144. And the question is, fill in the blank in each sentence with the simple past tense of the verb given in brackets. So all the verbs are given in the brackets are actually the base form. What you have to do is, you have to change the base form into simple past form. Visit into visited. Speak into spoke. In this way you are going to change it. So the first statement is, we visit Japan last year. So the answer is, we visited Japan last year. He dash a good student in school. Here you are going to use verb to be. Remember was and were. He is singular subject. So you are going to use he was a good student in school. Number 3 is the minister speak at the meeting. The base form is speak. So simple past form is spoke. So the answer is the minister spoke at the meeting. Next statement is the family moved to a new flat last month. Move, moved. The family moved to a new flat last month. Next statement is the tourists arrive by air. Arrive, arrived. The tourists arrived by air. Next statement is he painted the picture. Paint, painted. He painted the picture. Next statement is we take many photographs of the city. Take, took. We took many photographs of the city. Next statement is everyone heard the good news. Second form is heard. So everyone heard the good news. Mary dash very tired after the long walk. Feel. Feel is the base form. So simple past form is felt. So the answer is Mary felt very tired after the long walk. The last statement is she bring her pet to school. Bring, brought. The second form is brought. So the answer is she brought her pet to school. I hope that you have learned the concept of simple past tense very well. So I have designed a small quiz for you because you have already done exercise 1 and exercise 2. So here I am going to evaluate that how much you have learned. So question number 1 is related to simple present tense. And the question is choose the correct answer. Here you can see that I have given you 3 statements with 3 possible answers. What you have to do is read the statement and find out the most appropriate answer. Number 1 is do you dash chocolate milk? Like, likes, liked. Number 2, it dash a beautiful day today. Is, are, am. And number 3 is Robert dash not go to my school. Is, do or does. You have to just choose the correct option. Question number 2 is related to simple past tense. Question is choose the correct answer. Again here I have given you 3 statements and you have to choose the correct answer. Number 1, dash Mike visit his grandmother last night. Did, are, does. Number 2, Alex did not dash last weekend. Working, worked or work. Number 3, we dash not happy after the sad ending. Were, was or did. Just remember that you have to choose the correct option. The answers are not given here, but you can check the answers at the end of the lecture. Now we are going to do exercise 3 from lesson number 7 from page 144 to 145. Remember from exercise 1, we had the question from simple present tense. In exercise 2, we have the question from simple past tense. But here they have given mixed statements. So you have to think whether you have to answer in simple present tense or simple past tense. So the question is, fill in the blanks in each sentence with the correct form of the verb given in the bracket. Use either the simple present tense or the simple past tense, whichever is correct. So you have to focus on the statement. Either they are talking about present time or past one. So the first statement is, the audience applauded when he finished his song. Finished. So finished is telling us that it is past tense. So applaud will be changed into applauded. The audience applauded when he finished the song. Number 2 is traffic moves slowly at peak hours. Traffic moves. Why? Because it is a general fact. So it is present tense. Number 3 is the students dash this library frequently. This library shows that it is present tense. And frequently is adverb of frequency. So it is telling us that they are talking about present tense. So we are going to use first form. The students visit this library frequently. Number 4 is he traveled by bus before he bought his car. Bought. The verb bought is telling us that they are talking about past tense. So the word travel will be changed into traveled. He traveled by bus before he bought his car. The next one is plants grow well in fertile soil. It is a fact. And do you remember that we have read that when we are talking about general facts, we use simple present tense. So we will use first form of the verb. Plants grow well in fertile soil. Next statement is they buy a new house last year. Last year is telling us that they are talking about past tense. So they bought a new house last year. The next statement is he dash formally a clerk in this firm. This firm is telling us that they are talking about present tense. So verb to be in present, do you remember? In present we have to use verb to be is, are, am. So with he, we are going to use is. He is formally a clerk in the firm. Next is good food dash important for health. It is a general truth. It is a fact. So we are going to use is. Good food is important for health. Next statement is he catch many fish during his last vacation. Last vacation means they are talking about past tense. So catch will be changed into caught. He caught many fish during his last vacation. And the last statement is careless people bring trouble upon themselves. So it is a general fact. So this is present tense. So it will remain the base form. Careless people bring trouble upon themselves. So students, after doing the quiz independently, you can check your answers here. I hope that you have learned the concept very well. Keep practicing it because when you will practice it, obviously you are going to learn it very well.